The clearance of the migrant camp known as the Jungle is progressing, but progressing slowly. As of midday this Tuesday, another 656 migrants we're told were bussed away from the centre, and another 139 people classed as unaccompanied minors, children, were put into dry, secure shelters. So it is progressing, not as fast as authorities would hope, but it is progressing so far mainly calmly. There haven't been the violent scenes that we saw back in the spring or at other attempts to clear the jungle. There have been isolated scuffles after nightfall, but so far things are going quite steadily. Now, authorities have been set to dismantle the camp as of this Tuesday. So far that hasn't begun. What we have seen instead are information sessions going on in the camp itself. Officials walking around handing out flyers, calling on migrants to leave the camp as soon as they can, and trying to get information out, because some people are still a bit confused and sceptical about what's happening. So at this stage they're trying to do that, trying to get people out of their tents and onto the buses before they start pulling apart the houses and sending bulldozers in, the authorities say, deliberately to avoid clashes.
Well, you mentioned then that it is much calmer this time around. Do you think that calm's likely to last? And why would you say there is this different approach to clearing the camp?
Well, I think it's a deliberate decision by authorities here that they want this to pass off as calmly as possible, and they're trying to make conditions as good as they can for the migrants. That's what they say, at least. But if you like, what we've seen so far is the easy part. We've seen migrants bussed away who volunteered to go, who queued up from the early hours of the morning to try and get on those buses and get places in reception centres around France. That's people who had listened to the French government's message and accepted their offer there of places across France where they can claim asylum. There are, however, others in the camp who are less willing to go, who don't want to claim asylum in France. They want to keep on trying to cross to the UK. I've been speaking to some of them this morning, and some of them saying that they won't leave. And if they're forced to leave, then they'll just hang out on the streets or in other squats that may spring up nearby and carry on trying. So there could be more resistance in the days going forward, but certainly calm for now. The big test will really be to come.
And in terms of the reaction from people in and around the camp, is this passing off smoothly with locals and residents alike? Are they happy with how things are progressing?
The people of Calais, a lot of them are tired of having a big migrant presence in or near their town. A lot of people have found that rather a burden to bear. So I think there is general acceptance of what the French authorities are trying to do. But I have to say there's a lot of scepticism too. Local people have been saying they do not think that this clearance will necessarily be permanent. The French government says they want to shut down the jungle once and for all. People here seem a bit resigned to the fact that they think other migrant camps and squats could spring up around the area. After all, migrants have been coming here since the 1990s because they want to cross to the UK. They don't want to stay in France, and this is one of the easiest places for them to hide out in lorries or to cross the English Channel. So people here are sceptical about whether that will last. Even the mayor of Calais saying that she didn't think this would necessarily be permanent, and that authorities really have to concentrate on what happens after the jungle itself is demolished.